Hi folks, now it's time to see the dependency injection in action. So here I will try to show you the dependency injection with respect to one simple console application, and it is with respect to Visual Studio 2015.NET Core Framework 1.1. So here I will try to demonstrate how dependency injection works, how to inject the dependencies in the constructor, and how to create the services. So basically, in order to speed up the process, whatever, I have written the code already over here. And you must know that dependency injection inbuilt feature is already available in the .NET Core. Basically, it's like an inbuilt feature in .NET Core which provides the dependency injection. Yeah, of course, this dependency injection is not intended to replace any third-party IOC controller framework, but it is the features which has been provided by the .NET and which will approximately support 80 to 90% projects, because most of the project is needed with the simple dependency injection. It doesn't need high level dependency injection which resolves multiple classes here and there, which takes care of the circular reference, which takes care of the singleton, transient, and other kind of instance of the particular classes. So basically, in the with respect to the simple classes, dependency injection has been provided into .NET Core. So first of all, I will show you some features. As we said that it's about the loose coupling of the concept. So here I am having one service, one interface, which is iCredit service, which is having credit method. Here in this, I am having iDebit service, which is having debit method. Now, these both the interface have been implemented in respective classes. So credit service is implementing iCredit service, and debit service is implementing iDebit service. Okay, let us look at the implementation of this iCredit service. So this is the first line, public read only iDebit service, which is giving me type of iDebit service. Second, iLogger factory. Here I try to introduce the logger as well, so that whatever the step we are performing, this is the basic requirement. So anywhere, whatever the work you are gonna do, a logger is required. And logger, the best use of the dependency injection is you must have the logger as a dependency injection, as a constructor dependency injection, because ultimately everywhere your logger is required. Maybe you could log the debug information, you could log the warning information, you could log the error, you could log the exceptions, whatever you would like to log it, you need a logger factory. Logger dependency injection, logger service you need. The service will be injected anywhere in your project, and it is needed across the project, whatever the development you are going to do. So we have a logger. Here in the credit service constructor, I am injecting iDebit service, debit service, and initializing particular interface with their respective implementation. So this dot debit I debit underscore debit service is equal to debit service, which I am giving from here. Similarly with the log service, and here is the implementation of the credit method. It says just a simple implementation here. I just try to demonstrate how it can work. Inside whatever the code you would like to write and whatever operation you would like to have it, you could do that. So just simply I credit from the account is done with the value of the signed amount to print the simple message. And here I am calling one method from the debit service, which is getting provided to me in the form of this constructor. In the constructor, I'm injecting that interface. That interface is providing a method of the debit method of the implemented class. So this is the injection which I did. This is the constructor dependency injection which I did over here. I am successfully able to use it. This is one example. Let me go and show you the debit service. In debit service, I'm just simply injecting the logger factory. Logger factory is also kind of dependency injection over here. So this is initializing and creating the logger of the type of the service. Here, so till now it is fine. Let me show you this coding action. What I have written over here is that in order to initialize your dependencies in the console framework, although in the ASP.NET Core, any project you are creating, it is giving the configuration method in startup.cs file where iService collection is already injected. You just need to inject your interface name and the service name. It will be available across the project. That's the beauty of the ASP.NET Core. And here, in case if you are not working in ASP.NET Core and you would like to utilize that particular feature, or if you are not working in a particular web application stuff and somewhere outside your project in the class libraries and all, you would like to utilize those features. Uh, in the real-time example, we come across those kind of scenarios where outside the web or outside the web API, I would like to use this dependency injection, and in that respect, I'm having the implementation. This is simple console application. So here, what we did, first of all, set up our dependency injection. So I'm just initializing service provider. This service provider is coming from the service collection. Add login. This is by default provided by the framework. Add singleton is one method where I'm telling that you have the iCredit service ready, iCredit implementation ready in the form of the single instance of the particular class. Simple iDebit service over here, build service provider. So it will build a container which will hold all of the references with respect to interface and corresponding implementation, so that whenever we are trying to use the interface and call the particular class method, it looks to the container and it points to the container, and container resolves that particular reference and give the method of the particular class. Here is service provider again. So service provider, I'm trying to get ilog factory, and I'm just adding the level of the console. So this is simple concept, how to add the level of the console. Logger, iLogger factory, I'm trying to create the program label. So program is my class name over here in the console application. Right? Now I'm defining. Let me show you. Service provider dot get service of iDebit service. I'm telling to my this IOC container, give me iDebit service. So if I'm asking for iDebit service, it resolves iDebit service by debit service and provide the implementation of the debit service. That's the beauty over here. Similarly for iCredit service. Okay, so let me show you the breakpoint, what is happening around. Okay, so I will show you some interesting things which you might have not noticed even if you are using dependency injection. So I just try to run this, and yeah, it's running. It will come up to my breakpoint. Very soon the debugging is started. My Visual Studio is a little bit slow. Yeah, it should come. Yeah, it's come. So now it is creating the container to hold all the services within my program. So start. This is trying to set up one dependency injection center. So service provider. As of now, I can see the value of this service provider. It is having this. Go sync object, count as 0. Dispose is called. I have not called the dispose. This is false. Basically, container should have the method in real-time production environment controller. Container should have the method to dispose of all the objects inside the container. Resolved services. Still now it has not resolved anything. Table and all those concepts where it will store the value of that particular resolved services in there. Okay, let us move. Now we will do this. We are asking our container to hold iLogger factory. Okay, let's see what is happening. So now it is holding iLogger factory. Let me see. Okay, sync object. So the moment I said my container to hold iLogger factory, it is telling that I have synced the object, and count is 1, and you could see the description Microsoft extension login. And resolved services. So it has resolved the reference of iLogger, whichever the class has given the implementation for iLogger. That's very awesome. If you might have not noticed, that's why I'm trying to show you that. Okay, let me go ahead. And yeah, I'm just going. I have logged in there. Okay. So now it has come. It has initialized debit service and it came to the constructor and creating the log factory for that. Okay. Let me show you service provider again. Okay, service provider has come. Now it has two objects. Which are two objects? One is the logger factory, another one is the debit service. It has resolved debit service. Okay. Third thing, yeah, it came to debit method, then object. Now this is third. came to the credit service, and the credit service it is been slicing. Let me show you the service provider.